Render migration has ruined everything, and I will tell you why. Hello everybody, welcome to the channel. My name is Doc, and today's video I'm going to explain to you why the render migration might have caused the biggest render downtrend ever, and also give you my short-term render price prediction. So the first topic I'm going to talk about today is what is actually going on with the render price since my last week's video. So as you can see in last week's video, I think render was trading around $6.30, $6.40. It actually went up again to like $6.60, but then came down very hard towards the $4.80 levels, and there's a reason why this is happening, and I will talk about it during this video. But another big thing is a lot of people are already screaming, well, the bull run is over for render, it made a lower low, it's dead. Well, that's not really true, because if we take a look at the lows, we got a low here at like $1.31, and then of course we got another low here at like $3.42, and then we're actually here at $4.70. But of course, if this would actually go below this line of $3.40, let's say, it would mean a lower low, and that's a really bad danger zone. But right now, if we just take a look at the chart, we can see we got a low here at $1.31, we got an uptrend all the way here, then we got a downtrend here, uptrend here, downtrend here. So if this would be the lowest low again, then if we just take a line here, you can actually see it's always a higher low. So it's still a bullish uptrend. But yeah, we're in the danger zone here right now at like $3.40 is coming closer. We don't want to hit this one because this would be very bad on the macro. But so far it's looking really good, and people don't have to panic yet. But I'm going to tell you right now why render has been crashing so hard in the last week. The reason was the Solana upgrade and the network incentives in actually November 2023. If you didn't know yet, Render Network actually upgraded to Solana in November, and with this upgrade there were big rewards coming. So if you didn't know yet, there was actually a breakdown of the 1-year emission reward, which was basically 4.5 million render tokens. So this was basically more than 1% up to 2% of the total supply, which would be rewarded to node operators, but also to people who upgraded early. And these people never got the chance to sell because the liquidity on Solana was really low. So there was almost no liquidity on Solana, so they couldn't sell until every major exchange actually listed render on the Solana network. And this is where we get this major sell-off, because last week almost every big exchange basically upgraded render RNDR to renders on Solana. And so many people who were actually holding render, like look at the price in like November 2023, the price was actually like $2 here, $2 up to $2.50. So a lot of people were holding since this price. We're talking about 40 million tokens, which is more than 10% of the tokens of render. So they were holding, and they went all the way up to like $14 almost, but they couldn't sell because there wasn't enough liquidity on render on Solana. So after this downfall here, it was actually an uptrend, and it was on $7. And they could finally sell some render tokens, and they got 4 million in rewards, 40 million migrated tokens. So we're talking about a lot of money and tokens, and this caused a major sell-off. Because the people who actually migrated here at $2, they wanted their profits. There were actually people, millions of tokens, who did it. So they wanted their profit, and you got a huge sell-off, especially because the market was on a downtrend as well. And this is why render was actually going down so hard. And it was actually render on Solana which was going down, and not render on Ethereum. Because if we take a look at this screenshot I posted on Twitter 2 days ago, you could see that the render RNDR price was actually 20 cents higher than the Solana price, and was even moving fast. Like at one point, I couldn't take the screenshot sadly, this was 580 and this was 510, and it's packed 1 to 1. So basically, if someone just migrated their render tokens RNDR to render, they would get more render tokens. So it was a huge play, and it was on Coinbase. So basically people sold for 580, got the price of 510, so basically like 15% more tokens, and this caused a huge sell-off. Like people were just migrating render RNDR to render, and a lot of whales kept trying to buy render, and a lot of people as well kept selling their render on Solana, because a lot of people again were holding since $2. So it was a bidding war on Coinbase like never seen before, and the price just went up and down, up and down. So yeah, I was always against the migration, to be honest. Everybody knows on this channel who has been with me since November that I always loved render on Ethereum. I never migrated until the big exchanges did it, so I had to migrate. But yeah, because I know rewards is never bullish for a crypto coin. When people get 4 million tokens rewarded, it's like a lot of percentage of the tokens of the total supply, and they can just sell it off. And basically it's always a sell-off when the tokens were unlocked, but this time around they couldn't sell it at the unlock, but they could sell it when every big exchange listed render on Solana. And this is what we're feeling right now, a downtrend market, a lot of people who are dumping their render tokens, which they bought before November 2023, but in my opinion the worst has already been done. Like, it was a really bad time for render holder, I know it as well. I've been holding since 40 cents. I didn't like the migration, it ruined a lot. Free rewards isn't bullish, but now I think we can move on. Like, I think a lot of tokens have been sold. Grayscale is actually getting into render, which is really bullish. Of course, they force a lower price, that's what Grayscale always does, but now we can move on, and there's actually some very bullish events coming for render in the next couple of weeks. So the first event I want to talk about is the Nvidia earnings dates and reports. So the next earnings date is on August the 28th, in like I think 25 days, and a lot of people said, I called in February Nvidia earnings, we skyrocketed. In May it was sell the news, like people don't like it, but it could be a major catalyst again. And yes, it could just be sell the news, and at the end of the video we'll talk about some levels which could be reached by this event. But Nvidia earnings is always bullish. Why? Because Nvidia always outperforms. Look at these levels since Q4 2023. Expectations reported higher, expectations reported, high reported, then it came down to the wire. Like, look how fast this went up from EPS 0.08 cents to expectations 0.64. like basically an 8x in expectations only in 1.5 years, which is crazy. And Nvidia will probably beat this as well, because the stock is going down, but a lot of people and companies are still buying so many GPUs for AI. So yeah, August 28th could be a major day for render. Like, it will probably be a sell the news if the market is not bullish. Like in May the same thing happened. Render was outperforming the market so hard when it went from like $6.80 to like $12 in no time. There was an obvious sell the news, and this time we'll just have to look at the market. If render is outperforming the market again heavily, and like the market seems bearish, it's a sell the news, and it could be a very good trade for you with this kinds of level as $5. Like, this is not financial advice, but yeah, it could be a very nice day for render. But this isn't the only bullish event for render. No, since we're on Solana right now, actually Solana Breakpoint could be a huge catalyst. We're already seeing how strong Solana is right now. Like, look at the price, 150, 190. It was outperforming the entire market. Like, it's still very strong. And the reason is Solana Breakpoint. It's the biggest Solana event of the year, and it will be from September 20th to 21st. Like, this could finally be a major catalyst for render, because it's a Solana token now, it's a top AI coin on Solana, and yes, I'm expecting a lot, especially with like Fed cut rates as well. Q4 could be very good. when we start with Solana Breakpoint. Like Nvidia earnings is big, Solana Breakpoint is big. Hopefully all the render token sellers on the Solana network are done with dumping and we can start this nice uptrend in Q4 again. So now let's get on with the second part of this video, which is my short-term render price prediction. But before I do this, if you want to buy render Bitcoin and over 1,000 other crypto coins while getting up to $30,000 in welcome bonuses and rewards as shown on screen, just go to the top of the description and click on the partner Bybit link. Once you're at the partner Bybit link, you will see my name and my referral code, and as you can see, you can get up to $30,000 in welcome rewards. All you have to do is just deposit and buy crypto. Like for just buying render Bitcoin and any other crypto, you can up to $30,000 in rewards, so definitely don't miss out on this opportunity. So for my short-term price prediction on render, there are a few key levels we need to hold. Again, as I said before, this $3.42, the lower low, it needs to hold. Like this is the most important level. If we break this, it will be a lower low on the macro trend, which is very bullish. But then of course people want to know what could be a good buy zone. So a buy zone basically goes from this week to the close. So if we take a look here, this could actually be a really good buy zone. Like let's see, we're here between like $5.23 and $4.44. Actually we can even up that, I think, because we need to take the close. So this could be a very big buy zone here. So we're talking about $5.23, $4.60. I mentioned actually this a couple of days before on my Twitter when we were actually trading at like $6, because when we actually started dumping again, I was like, okay, this could be very serious. Let's set up a buy zone. So this could be a very good buy zone. But then what could be a great resistance? So if we take a look still on the weekly, the first thing we need to cross is this one here. We need to make sure we can get above this 720 level. Like it's easier to see on the daily. So if we go back to the daily, there's a big resistance level here. So we need to break this resistance level. Like we need to get a higher high. And this will be the first level I'm going to be watching at the Nvidia earnings. Because if the market is bearish and we actually go back here to like $7.09 and we get denied at 720, it could come down again. We saw the same thing happening in May. Like if you don't remember, in May, it wasn't like a surprise that this could be a double top. Look at the level. It's literally the close here. Like this is basically a close here, which then resulted in a downtrend. So it actually got denied here on the daily, went down. It got denied here again on the daily, went down. And we just saw a double top of resistance. Like there was a lot of resistance here going on. This level got denied a lot of times. And we can say the same thing about this level. Like this level is actually support before, but then here it got denied. So it will be very important if we don't break this level before actually the 28th. Like if we get an uptrend now and we stay here and we're on the 28th, this could be a really bad downtrend again. But of course, if we're up here, there's not much stopping us to retest this 11.83. So these are basically all angles I'm watching right now. So basically we got the huge lower low level at $3.42. We got this buying zone, which is very important, which we're in right now. So it's very important we're staying above this level of 455. Otherwise, we might retest this lower low, which I really don't want to retest. So hopefully all this selling pressure of these Solana render rewards and holders is gone, and we can finally focus on the uptrend. And the first level we will be talking about in next week's video is this 720. I hope to see some uptrend from the market. Like we also had a major stock market crash, which was the biggest since the corona crash in 2020. So there's a lot of uncertainty, a lot of FUD, but I've always made the most money when there's FUD. Like last year in September, I was here telling you it was the greatest opportunity. There's a lot of posts of me on Twitter, there's videos on YouTube, and it was the greatest opportunity. That was basically here in September 2023 when it was basically below $1 and I was posting and showing my buys, like we're actually talking about these levels here, and look at 10x. And now again, it's a very important level because it will be the first time ever we're gonna test a lower low in a long time. And this hasn't happened yet since the bear market bottom. So this is the macro uptrend and you need to get a higher low. So this is very, very important right now to watch this buy zone of like $4, $5.20 and $4.55, and then especially this lower low. So this is my short-term price prediction for Render. It's not financial advice. If you got any questions, be sure to comment them down below. Also, I hope everybody enjoyed this video. Be sure to follow me at TheRealDoc on Twitter to know when I post about Render, crypto and other bullish things. Click on the screen right now if you want to find out the best method to buy Render to maximize your profit. Subscribe to this channel for more crypto content. Like this video if you enjoyed, and YouTube. Until next time.